Okay, I want to do a throw like this. Okay, resist me. Okay, I can't get him. I go underneath, resist me. He's dropping his weight back. But if he resists, I say resist, then that force is easily borrowed by us. When I apply yang through my hands, his resistance to push back that way bounced off my hand, propelling him forward. Push back with your hand, push your leg and everything. I add some yang. You see how this makes him come up onto tiptoes? Come again, push. See? So he got tiptoes, that force is reflecting back and onto. So you can see how that's the same principle as when I countered you, as when I pushed you, but done from this trajectory. Does that make sense? Once that is happening, if I sweep his leg, right, I go like this, yeah. Then if you're the defensive one and you're stalling, right? You're stalling. We're still gonna bring you in, yang you, like this. And bring you down.
Yes.
All right, thank you for your help. So I want to talk about a fun topic today, which is how Tai Chi performs 借力, borrowing force, borrowing power. So we're all familiar with Tai Chi's demonstrations of where you push people and they move away, they get pushed away, and that's done by borrowing power. But people always ask, well, what does pushing people have to do with fighting? And so I'm going to explain this in this video, okay? So let's talk about it first. So what does borrowing power means? It means that he uses power, he takes his power out, I'm going to borrow it and I'm going to use it against him. It is not the same as this. So if you push me, right, you push, and I just yield to it. So that means I ran away from his power. Did I use your power?
No.
No. You use your power, you didn't get anywhere, I didn't get anywhere. That's just wasting your power, which is could be useful. But in practicality, if you keep pushing me and driving me back, like we have a sumo wrestling match, keep pushing and I keep going back, I will eventually run out of space, okay? Because you can go forward faster than I can go back. So that is not really what we want to do. If you just throw your weight at me, right? If you just toss yourself at me, right? Then I might be able to make you lose your balance because your weight is not under control. But in the case that you are exerting your power, we have to receive that power to borrow that power. And what do I receive it with? Push. With strength, push. Not great because I'm just as tight and limited as he is. We have to borrow his power using our internal skill. The main one I'm going to show today is Chi Mastery's Yang expansion. So he pushes, push, so I expand like this. So this way, he goes back. You see my arms didn't shake, okay? Push hard, right? Yeah, this. The harder you push, the more power is being borrowed. And so the more he pushes, the more I return his power. You can see me go more towards Yang, push, okay? So here I'm neutral. For now, keep pushing, don't give up. Yeah, like this. As I open my elbow, as I expand my body, that Yang intensifies. So as I go into more of a Yang configuration, it intensifies. If you do a classical ward off, you push me like this, push, he's pushing into me, right? As I open into this, as I go open like an orchestra conductor, the Yang intensifies. So that is how I borrowed his power. But the question remains, okay, so he went away, he's gonna come back, what have I accomplished? That is not how we're gonna use it in a conflict. But that principle in which when he exerts force upon my Yang, his force gets borrowed against him, is how I will use it. We'll look at it in a simple case in defense first, right? So if you step through and do a sotogari, like a reaping throw, right? So he wants to go and push. So he's going down and down I go, okay? So in that one, you see he's pushing into me. So as he's pushing into me, I have the choice of what do I want to do about it. Struggle with force, not a good idea. He has better leverage, I'm gonna go down. Use yin and move. If I try to run away, I can't because he's still holding on to him. Where can I go, right? So that's no good. If I use yin and draw him in, come again, he'll lose his balance a bit, but it's not optimal for me, okay? So it is gonna be yang again because that's what this video is all about. Go ahead, throw me down.
Yeah.
Okay, try hard.
Yes.
Try harder. People say you're going too easy.
Push.
Okay, so as long as I'm maintaining yang, he gets bounced away. Okay, cool. I didn't get thrown down. He's still fine, right? You're gonna wonder, well, you haven't won this fight yet. You've stopped his throw. So what am I gonna do? Now I'm gonna do a throw. Okay, so let's stand here so people can see. So I got in a clinch. I come in. Okay, I want to do a throw like this. Okay, resist me. Okay, I can't get him. I go underneath. Resist me. He's dropping his weight back. Okay, so how is he resisting me? He's sitting down, he's pushing backwards with his body, right? So I want him to come forward. I want this to happen. He's pushing back. So resist. So he's pushing back so I cannot get him forward like this. My strength against his, I'm not winning, okay? So resist again, okay?
Gosh.
What happened that time?
Buoyancy bounced me up. For some reason, I just was lifted off my
Yes.
feet.
So what happened was I applied yang through my hands. When I applied yang through my hands, his resistance to push back that way bounced off my hand, propelling him forward. Does that make sense? So imagine if I was behind you, okay, you push back into my hand, push back. So he's pushing into my hands, okay? And that's just me carrying him. Now, push back with your hand, push your leg and everything. I add some yang. You see how this makes him come up onto tiptoes? Come again, push. See? So he's got tiptoes. That force is reflecting back and onto him. So it's that same mechanism. So come here again. I'm here, resist. So I'm throwing him like this, right? He resists. Okay, I yang like this. As soon as I yang, he gets uprooted. So once he's uprooted, because his own force pushing back is coming back up in this angle. So once that is happening, if I sweep his leg, right, I go like this, yeah. Then down he goes, Harai Goshi type of throw. It's only because he's resisting like that. It's a little bit different if he's just kind of sitting back with dead weight. He's just collapsing like a lazy person. Go. So that is not force, that's his weight. I cannot borrow his weight. The best thing to do is just let him drop with his weight. But if he resists, I say resist, then the force is easily borrowed by us. The more they resist, the more we can borrow that. So you can see how that's the same principle as when I countered you, as when I pushed you, but done from this trajectory. Does that make sense? So whatever the throw may be, he did a reaping throw, a sotogari on me, right? So from here, I'm sweeping him, resist me. So here he's resisting me, right? So from this hand I resist. I spin my yang like this. Like that. You see how his feet lifted up, lost his rooting, and went down. So this is how yang uprooting, as well as yang reflection, how to borrow your force against you, is used in offense. So in this way, I'm not running from his force. I'm not trying to yin his force. He's giving me force into me. I'm receiving it with yang, borrowing it with yang, and returning it in a way that's beneficial for me, not beneficial for you. Make sense?
Yes.
What is it like?
I feel like it can be used like at the point of Kuzushi when someone maybe tries to attempt something, and then you can create that buoyancy to counter with less clashing force.
Yes.
And the larger opponent will,
you
have a better chance with someone who has like maybe larger mass.
Yes. So most of us said Kuzushi. Kuzushi is a Judo term to break or to disrupt someone's structure. So that they mean it like this. Let's stand like this. This angle. Yeah. So if I'm holding you, right, and he's resisting me, right, you find some angle. So he's I'll
sorry.
Yeah, so resist me. So he's here like this. I find some angle. Okay, there. I'm pulling on his center of mass in a way that he is hard for resist. Then we can continue through and begin to do the throw. Resist again. Solid. Okay. I can't find angle. Okay. I found it. So I got his Kuzushi. He's on me, and we can begin the throw at that point. So that's what they call Kuzushi, and it's for the most part, it's a physical concept of finding a connection to your center of mass to be able to manipulate it in a beneficial way. Another similar concept is Aikido's Aiki. I means harmony, and Ki means energy. So we're going to harmonize our energy, harmonize our intention. They usually in Aikido, and I'm not an Aikido expert, right? So you attack me in some way. So here's intention coming this way. You're going to blend with their energy, move with them, and begin to do some kind of throw. Okay. So you attack again. The energy is coming. We come like this, and we lead them into some kind of technique. So they usually use it defensively, and that's in part because their founder, O-sensei Morihei Ueshiba, is a very spiritually oriented person, but so is Tai Chi. But there's one difference between Tai Chi as a martial art and Aikido as a martial art. O-sensei Ueshiba was a samurai. He's a warrior, and then he reached a certain type of enlightenment in which he wanted to propagate love and spirituality in the world. And he created Aikido as really a spiritual practice in a martial kind of way. At the height of Yang-style Tai Chi, they were a martial art that protected the emperor and the imperial family in the imperial palace. So Ueshiba, because he wanted peace and love, had a very defensive mindset. If you don't act, I don't act. If you act against me, I will deal with that, right? But that's not an acceptable strategy if you have to defend the emperor. So some ninjas appeared, and the emperor's over here, and oh, there's ninjas. What will you do? I will respond. No, that's not really like, that won't make the emperor happy. You'll get fired, right? So ninjas appear. You have to go and take them right away. So Tai Chi is, as a result, actually quite a bit more proactive. So that means I'm not waiting for your attack. I'm not waiting for your attack blending with that, throwing like that. That's not going to be how it works in Tai Chi. It's going to be, you're there, right? I'm going to seize you. You don't want to be thrown. Right. It doesn't matter. I yang you. Whoa. So in Tai Chi, we're going to take the initiative so that even if you're the defensive one and you're stalling, right? You're stalling. We're still going to bring you in, yang you like this. Bring you down.
Yes.
So that's a difference because of the job requirement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But they do. But I think the Aiki's concept of blending the intention, bring the energy together, and me borrowing force in Tai Chi is very similar. Because what happens is, once you're resisting me, that means you have one intention, me throwing you, that's one intention, right? But once I borrowed your force, your intention and action essentially going where I wanted to go. So we have been harmonized. Maybe you don't consciously agree with it, but your energy and your spirit has been borrowed to go. Because what we're doing is, when your intention is to resist, you resist. And I have Zhongding, you have your certain balance here. It's called Zhongding, a spiritual balance. Once my chi affects you and you've been uprooted, Judo calls it Kuzushi. I say you've lost your Zhongding, you've lost your center. You are now dependent upon me and going with me. From that circumstances, we are harmonized in the Aiki kind of way, and over you'll go and you'll throw. Make sense?
Yes.
So that's how these concepts are similar, related, and different in their own ways, but they all kind of have the same objective and similar mechanism. It's just that the Tai Chi's yang and yin spells it out in an interesting way that we are illustrating tonight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Any questions?
They'll come.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.